In 2023, we moved to a remote Scottish island to be its only two residents, along with our pet sheep and cats, beginning our YouTube journey there by sharing the challenges of such a solitary life in a harsh environment, while restoring an ancient stone cottage and raising livestock. The channel's success grew quickly, establishing an online community who share our love of history and kinship and yearn for a simpler time. Now we've begun a new life in the beating heart of the Highlands, and we invite you to join us as we put down roots in this land of legend, of rich tradition and culture, and incredible landscapes where the past is close at hand. Step back in time with us in this Scottish Isle. We've come here because this is where one of the spots where the Jacobite army on their march north to Culloden Moor encamped, and there's evidence of it inside this old kirkyard. But if just have a look round, it's like a bit of an ancient feeling landscape. You could imagine the tents of the Highlanders all dotted around that little grove down there.
I don't think that we've been to a place that is more rural than this. I think it's more like kind of isolated than the island. Don't you? It's got that feel about it.
It does feel isolated. The church that's here was built in the 1500s, Scott. I didn't think it was as old as that, but it is. I haven't tried the door yet to see if you can get in. And one of the most evocative things about this graveyard is that the soldiers that camped here before they went to Culloden were understood to have sharpened their weapons on the stones of the walls of the kirk and the surrounding wall. And I've just found some. This would have been to sharpen a little knife. Look at that! I've never seen anything like that.
Hang on.
This is going to be a ski and do. This is a sock knife. Look at that. I can't believe I'm touching that. Look here, more. I mean, imagine what they stood here and discussed in their final days with their friends and family before they marched to that awful place.
It is quite special. I've never seen anything like that.
Wow, look at this. Amazing. It's a medieval gate. So this kirkyard is also known to be the final resting place of a bunch of local clans, including MacGillivray's and MacPhail's. And again, it's a matter of local folklore that the Jacobites encamped here were discussing before battle the fact that they hadn't many musket balls left. And apparently they discussed disinterring some of the people that were buried in lead-lined coffins here in order to use the lead.
Well, that would make sense, wouldn't it?
1807, I think that says, or maybe 1707. Come on. This is the watchman's house, and he was employed to make sure that nobody came and robbed the graves of either goods or bodies.
This place feels ancient, doesn't it? I mean, it feels really, really old round here.
I wouldn't be surprised if it isn't some sort of seat of Celtic Christianity here. Wouldn't be surprised if it was a St. Columba job.
That probably sounds a bit bizarre to people because, you know, every place you go to is old in that sense. But there's a feeling here, isn't there, of like...
Yeah, it's been used a very long time, I think.
Which goes against what I was saying. And do you know when we went to Clavercairns? And I said, well, I go to these places and I don't feel anything. This place really has a vibe about it. It just feels ancient.
I've been wandering around trying to find any other sharpening marks in the stones, and I think everything else can pretty much be explained away as weather, everything that I've seen anyway, but those are so obvious.
Yeah.
It's incredible. And I've also been thinking while I've been wandering around, obviously they wouldn't have used the gravestones, so I've not been bothering looking at those, but is it not a bit of a desecration to use the walls of a church or the walls of a mausoleum? And actually it came to me that they probably thought it was a blessing to be sharpening their steel against a holy structure.
Yeah.
Or the mausoleums of their ancestors. It's a tiny, tiny little space, isn't it?
The chimney, the fireplace has obviously been blocked up at some point.
It was on that wall.
Because it was here, wasn't it? And this ledge, was it 2 floors?
Yeah, of course.
So there would have been a bedroom up here?
Yeah.
Well, there has been quite a few alterations in here then from that point of view. Hey.
Yeah?
I'm thinking this is the alternative to Hillcroft.
Well, maybe you could live in here by yourself.
I bet there's a lot less hassle. No, that's not true. Can you look at this? I was not expecting that.
No.
And he spelt his name wrong because it's Shakin. I, not E. Where's the apostrophe? Do you know who Shakin Stevens is?
Vaguely.
People in the UK don't know who Shakin Stevens is. Probably not if you're in America. But he was here. Shakin Stevens was here. Green door. That's why.
I don't know what you mean. Somebody will.
No,
You're not alone.
I'm going to show everybody what I mean right now. I think another reason why the landscape round here feels so ancient is because of all these standing stones everywhere. Now, I mean, these are natural,
Boulders.
but they do look like dolmens, don't they?
Yeah, they do look a bit like... Yeah, it just feels ancient.
It just has an ancient feel about it, doesn't it?
You can imagine all the men that have sat on those over the years, having a bite of cheese and an apple.
Now, on the way back, there's a massive rock just sat in a field, the size of this house. And we're going to go and try and see it.
Okay.
In fact, let's go there now and try and have a look.